For years, I couldn't figure out why my life was falling apart while everyone else was leveling up. I thought I just had bad luck, but I just found out my wife has been running a secret sabotage campaign against me because she's terrified that if I get rich, I'll realize I'm out of her league. My name is David, and my wife isn't my soulmate. She's my biggest fan-turned-stalker. Before we continue, kindly like and subscribe to help us reach a wider audience. Thank you. Let's be real. I'm not a bad-looking guy and I work hard. But for the last 3 years, every time I got close to a big win, something accidental would happen. I'd miss an important alarm because my phone glitched. I'd get a mysterious bout of food poisoning right before presentation. I even had a random anonymous HR complaint filed against me that stalled my promotion for 6 months. I thought the universe just had a grudge against me. My wife, Elena, was always there to comfort me. She'd bring me soup, rub my back, and tell me that the world was just a mean place and that we don't need that extra money anyway. She'd say, "At least you have me, David. Everyone else will leave you when you fail, but I like you just the way you are." It sounded sweet until I found her old iPad and the couch cushions. She hadn't cleared her history. I didn't find a cheating scandal. I found something way weirder. I found a private Facebook group called Keeping 'Em Humble. It was a group of about 20 women who all shared tips on how to keep their husbands from becoming too successful. I'm talking about actual strategies. One post from Elena had 50 likes. It said, "He almost got the VP position, girls." I had to accidentally delete the invite to the partner's dinner from his calendar and tell him the event was canceled. He cried on my shoulder for an hour. Mission accomplished. He's staying right where I want him. I felt the blood drain from my face. I scrolled further. She had posted screenshots of my private emails. She had even asked the group for advice on how to make me feel just insecure enough to stop going to the gym. She was literally crowdsourcing the destruction of my self-esteem. I looked at her across the room. She was scrolling on her phone, probably posting an update. "He thinks he's getting a raise tomorrow. What should I do?" Post. I realized I wasn't living with a wife. I was living with a saboteur who saw my success as a threat to her control. She thinks she's playing a game? Fine. But she forgot that I'm the one who handles the home Wi-Fi. I didn't confront her. I just quietly joined the group using a fake profile with a woman's picture. I'm about to become the top contributor in her little club, and she's going to tell me exactly how she plans to ruin my life before she even tries it. I spent the next 3 hours scrolling through that Keeping Him Humble group, and honestly, it was like reading a manual on how to ruin a man's life while smiling in his face. These women were trading tips on everything from accidentally shrinking a favorite suit to forgetting to tell their husbands about important phone calls. And Elena? She was the star player. She was the one giving advice on how to gaslight me into thinking my memory was failing. I didn't say a word to her that night. I just watched her. When she handed me a glass of water, I wondered if she'd put something in it just to make me groggy for my 8 a.m. meeting. I poured it down the sink when she wasn't looking. The next morning, I decided to set the bait. I sat at the breakfast table, looking intentionally hyped up. I made sure she saw me checking my LinkedIn every 2 minutes. "Babe, you won't believe it," I said, grinning like an idiot. A recruiter from the top firm in the city reached out. They wanted to come in for an informal lunch today at 12:30. This could be it. It's a 6-figure jump from where I am now. I watched her face carefully. For a split second, the mask slipped. Her eyes went cold, and she gripped her coffee mug so hard her knuckles turned white. But then, the fake smile snapped back into place. "Oh, David, that's amazing," she said, her voice sounding strained. "But 12:30? That's so soon. Are you sure you're ready for that kind of pressure? You've been so stressed lately. I'd hate for you to get your heart broken again." "I'm ready, Elena," I said, leaning in. "Nothing is going to stop me this time." I left the house, but I didn't go to any lunch. I drove 2 blocks away, parked my car behind a dumpster, and pulled out my phone. I was logged into the Keeping Him Humble group under my fake female profile, Sarah J. 5 minutes later, the notification popped up. Elena had posted. "Red alert, girls," she wrote. "He has a lunch at 12:30 that could change everything. I need a distraction, fast. I'm thinking about the car emergency play. Any better ideas? I can't let him leave the mid-level bracket. He'll start meeting higher-tier women." The comments flooded in. One woman suggested faking a fall. Another said to hide his car keys. But Elena replied, I'm going with emergency lockout. I'll call him crying saying I'm locked out of the house with the stove on. He'll drop everything to rush back. Works every time. I sat in my car, fuming. She was literally planning to use my love and concern for her as a weapon to sabotage my future. At exactly 12:15, my phone started ringing. It was Elena. I answered, and the performance was Oscar-worthy. She was sobbing, hyperventilating, telling me she had stepped out to get the mail, and the door clicked shut behind her. David, the chicken is in the oven. The house is going to burn down. Please, you have to come home. I can't find the spare key. Don't worry, babe, I said, my voice sounding calm and heroic. I'm already on my way. But I wasn't going home. I called a locksmith and sent him to the house instead. Then, I drove to the local park, grabbed a sandwich, and watched the Keeping Him Humble group on my screen. Elena posted again 10 minutes later. He's on his way. Lunch canceled. CEO David is officially postponed. Thanks for the support, ladies. Coffee is on me today. She thought she had one. She was probably sitting on the porch right now, waiting for me to pull up, so she could play this silly, rescued wife. But she didn't know that the locksmith was about to show up, and I was about to post a video of her emergency directly into her favorite Facebook group. I sat in my car at the park, eating my sandwich and watching the group chat like it was a live sports event. The comments under Elena's post were disgusting. Good job, sis, one woman wrote. Keep him in his place. They get one promotion, and suddenly they think they can do better than us. Elena replied with a laughing emoji, saying, he's probably speeding right now. He's such a sucker for a damsel in distress. I didn't speed. I waited until I knew the locksmith I'd hired was pulling into our driveway. Then, I hit the record button on my dashboard camera, which I had synced to my phone. I also pulled up a second phone, a burner I bought specifically for this, and opened the Keeping Him Humble group. I posted a comment under Elena's thread using my fake profile, Sarah J. I wrote, wait, Elena, I think I see your husband. Is he in a blue SUV? Because I just saw a guy who looks like him pulling into a parking lot at the park across town. He doesn't look like he's in a rush. The group went silent for a second. Then Elena replied, what? No, he told me he was 5 minutes away. He sounded panicked. This was the moment. I called Elena's cell phone. She picked up on the first ring, her voice back in helpless mode. David, where are you? I smell smoke. I'm not coming, Elena, I said, my voice dead calm. But don't worry. I sent a locksmith to the house. He should be there any second to save the chicken. The silence on the other end of the line was deafening. I could practically hear her brain short-circuiting. A locksmith? But you were supposed to come. You said nothing would stop you from that lunch. The lunch wasn't real, Elena, I said. Just like your emergency wasn't real. I'm sitting at the park watching you post on Facebook. Tell me, did the girls in the group give you a Best Performance Award for today? Or are they too busy laughing at how much of a sucker I am? I heard her gasp. What are you talking about? What group? The Keeping Him Humble group, Elena. I've been a member for 3 days. I've read every post. I saw the one about deleting my calendar invites. I saw the one about the random HR complaint. I even saw the one where you asked how to make me feel insecure enough to stop going to the gym. She didn't try to deny it. She didn't cry. Her voice went cold, a version of my wife I'd never heard before. You searched my iPad. You invaded my privacy, David. That group is a safe space for women to vent about their lives. Venting is one thing. I snapped. Sabotage is another. You've been systematically destroying my career because you're a coward. You're so insecure about yourself that you had to break my legs just to make sure I couldn't run away. That's not a safe space, Elena. That's a toxic waste dump. I did it for us, she shrieked. You don't know what happens to men when they get that kind of power. They change. They find younger women. I was protecting our marriage. You weren't protecting a marriage. You were running a prison, I said. And guess what? I just posted the link to your group on the company's main Slack channel. Every husband of every woman in that group is about to get an invite to see what their wives really think of them. Your safe space is about to go viral. I hung up before she could respond. I watched the Facebook group in real time. It was chaos. Women were screaming, deleting their accounts, and accusing each other of being the mole. I saw Elena's profile disappear as she frantically tried to scrub her digital footprint. But it was too late. I'd already screenshotted everything. I wasn't going home tonight. I was going to a hotel, and tomorrow, I was going to a real interview. And this time, Nobody was going to accidentally delete the invite. The neighborhood didn't just get quiet. It turned into a battlefield. By 6 p.m., I was sitting in a hotel room with a pizza and my laptop, watching the absolute carnage unfold on the local Nextdoor app and the town's community page. Since I had leaked the group link and the screenshots to a few of the other husbands I knew at the firm, word spread like wildfire. It turns out, Elena wasn't the only hater on our block. The Keeping Him Humble group was basically a local chapter. My boss's wife was in it. The PDA president was in it. Even the wife of the guy who runs the local gym was a top contributor. Before we continue, kindly like and subscribe to help us reach a wider audience. Thank you. I started seeing the posts pop up one by one. Our neighbor, Mark, posted a picture of his bags packed on the lawn with a caption, "Found out my wife has been losing my medication to make me more compliant. See you in court." Then there was a video of a shouting match 2 streets over. This safe space had become a public scandal, and the women who thought they were so clever were suddenly finding out that their humble husbands had reached their breaking point. Around 9 p.m., my phone started blowing up. It was Elena. She had sent me 32 texts. They started out angry, calling me a traitor and a snake, but as the hours went by, they turned desperate. "David, please come home. People are throwing rocks at the house. Mark's wife is over here crying because her husband left her. Everyone knows it was you who leaked it. You're destroying lives, David. Not just mine." I didn't reply. I just sent her one screenshot. The post she made 6 months ago where she laughed about accidentally spilling red wine on my only tailored suit right before my interview with the board. I followed it with, "The only life I destroyed was the fake one you built for me. Good luck with the neighbors." The next morning, I walked into the real interview I'd set up behind her back. I didn't have brain fog. I hadn't missed the alarm. I was sharp, I was focused, and for the first time in years, I didn't feel like I was carrying an invisible weight on my shoulders. I got the job on the spot, a senior partner position with a signing bonus that was more than Elena and I had made together in a year. When I finally went back to the house to get the rest of my things, the for sale signs were already popping up on our street. The Keeping Him Humble scandal had triggered 4 divorces in 48 hours. Elena was sitting on the porch, looking like a ghost of the woman I married. No makeup, messy hair, and no fake, supportive smile. "Are you happy now?" she asked, her voice raspy. "You got your big job. You got your revenge. Was it worth losing your family?" "Elena," I said, loading my last suitcase into the car. "I didn't lose a family. I lost a parasite. I'd rather be alone and successful than humble and trapped in your basement. Have fun at your next group meeting." Oh wait, I heard the group admin deleted the page because her husband is suing her for domestic fraud. I drove away and never looked back. I heard through the grapevine that she had to move back in with her mother and take a job as a receptionist. Me? I'm currently looking at penthouses near my new office. It's funny, it's a lot easier to climb the ladder when nobody is standing on your fingers.